All right, what is up? Doing a little mic check. Let me know if you can hear me. Have had some audio issues here in the more recent past, so we'll see if it's working today before we get going good. But we do have a few stories here while you guys let me know if you can hear me or not. Texas penalties are announced, and Kyle Larson, as expected, loses two crew members for the lost wheel. Martin Trix Jr. is going to have a new right rear tire changer, and the drivers of note for the Talladega race are going to be Cody Ware. Cody Ware getting back in the 15. Shane Van Gisbergen is going to be driving the 16, so he'll get a restrictor plate or a super speedway start. Anthony Alfredo going to be in the 62 Beard Oil car, and Get Loud for McLeod. BJ McLeod will be in this race as well. So there you go. Those are some of the bigger stories. A few other stories. The Jordan brand has a nice looking scheme on Tyler Reddick's number 45 car. Looks like it's a silver, white, and black, sort of a monochrome or two non-colors, and then a silver in there. I don't think silver is a color either, so just all non-colors. So it's a good-looking scheme in my opinion, though. Looks pretty good. The Texas TV ratings were up 4% to they were at 2.3 million for that one, and what else? Chase Elliott during the Texas Speedway race, the 9 team set the fastest 4-tire pit stop so far in the history of NASCAR with 8.49 seconds on one of the pit stops, at least in the next gen era. Or well, it's got to be the fastest because the next gen era is without a doubt the fastest pit stop. So yeah, the fastest 4-tire pit stop in NASCAR history. So there you go. Those are, I guess, sort of the main stories that happened today. And we'll jump into the comments and see what you guys want to talk about. Also, the merch link is right here, and one wise guy has dropped the Discord if you want to join in the Discord and check that out. What's up in between the lanes? Good to see you on here, my friend. Wise guy saying, why do people always want to tear up the track if their driver doesn't win? That's a good question. I don't know. It's always like for the longest time, we heard nothing but negative stuff about Texas. Chase Elliott wins Texas. 75% thought Texas was a good race all of a sudden, despite 4 million cautions, because they really liked the exciting ending. And of course, I think a lot of people liked, obviously, the most popular driver. A lot of people liked the winner. So it's all dependent on who wins as to whether or not people like a track. Most of the time, not always. I think some people's favorite driver could win every Richmond race, and people would still be upset about Richmond because they won't put the sealer back on Richmond and various other reasons. I think Richmond, the track is still good. I just don't think it agrees with this car and the short track package. Brett Griffin, in between the lanes, saying Brett Griffin and Ross, who are touring together, said on Door Bumper Clear that was spot off for the Watermelon Man declining to comment after contact from Byron. And I think they're just upset about that. My personal take on that, they're upset about that because Door Bumper Clear likes to drama farm. They like to stir the old proverbial poo pot. And I think that's more or less why he's upset about that. He wanted some drama. He wanted some controversy to stir up because you can't pay nobody back at Talladega. So it at least would have been 2 weeks worth of drama. So I feel like that plays into it quite a bit. I personally think Ross Chastain was spot on to use their terminology, which I think is I don't know. I'm not no need to be petty. I think it's spot on that he didn't comment because if you don't have anything nice to say, don't say anything at all. Plus, no matter what he said, they were going to use it to farm drama content for the rest of the week. So I thought Ross was really smart by not giving the comment there, not giving them the fuel to flame the fire, because you saw what happened, how big the Denny Hamlin controversy got and stuff like that. So I think he's just being a savvy veteran there by not giving the interview. But to each their own. If that's how Brett Griffin feels about it, I certainly can understand where he's coming from. He wanted to drama farm that and have some good content for it. So no, that's all fair game. I understand why he might not like it, but regardless of what he says, why he doesn't like it, he wanted to drama farm that, in my opinion. BB, I think you were spot on for the Watermelon Man not saying anything after the races in between lanes. So there you go. You knew my take before I gave it on here. I guess, yeah, I did talk about it on the video. So yeah, right on. What's up, Mark Barnum? Good to see you on here. Could never figure out why people want to race on football fields and play football on a racetrack. I mean, to everybody has a certain type of track that they want to go and watch a race at. So some people are into one type of track, some people are into another type of track. It's never I'm never going to track shame. If you like a certain type of track, because I like a good road course, and I know most people don't. Let's see here. Mark Barnum saying, what's up to Roofer? What's up, Roofer? Good to see you in here, my friend. Freddie didn't even pick Bubba this weekend on door bumper clear, says one wise guy. That's interesting because I feel like his numbers are pretty good here. His numbers are typically pretty good at super speedways. Let's see. Average finish. Nope. Since 2021, his average finish at Talladega is actually pretty low. So Freddie knows something that we don't know, apparently. So yeah, I do think he has a win though. Didn't he have a win? Didn't he have a Talladega win? He does have a win, but his average finish is 17th, which puts him at 19th overall with average finish here at Talladega since 2021. Of course, you guys know how I do that. Over there on driveraverages.com. So that might be what he was thinking about. NBA play-in tournament begins tonight. Yeah, so we're rolling with the Orlando Magic. Jump on board the Orlando Magic train because that's who we're rolling with. Banchero and the Wagner twins are going to take us to the house. NBA, I just read that one. Let's see. What's up, B? Says Mark Barnum. Did I miss one? Didn't I? BB looking like the best douchebag with the fanciest mic ever. Says Bumblebee. Yeah, so this is the retro Elvis mic, the Shure 55, if I'm not mistaken. 55 SH Series 2. That's the mic I've had since 2017 when I originally started doing this on Facebook before that channel was stolen. Let's see. I'm going for McDowell with Talladega. Says like dislike. That's probably not a bad pick. Where's his numbers at here? McDowell, he is 12th on average finish and has 2 top 5s. So there you go. Michael McDowell with 2 top 5s and a good average finish there. What was his average finish? I said he was, 12th? What is his actual average finish number, though? Average finish of 14.5 there. So there you go. Puts him in 12th place. Let's see here. Thank God for BB, saved me from the police video I was watching. LOL. What's up, Roofer? And all, says T-Man. So yeah, there's actually if you're a Los Angeles native, there is a YouTube channel that just follows around. I guess he's got a police scanner in his car. He's doing like that Jake Gyllenhaal movie, except he's streaming it to YouTube the whole time he's riding around. You see some wild stuff there. I just saw the thumbnail. I haven't actually ever watched the channel, so I shouldn't say that. But I saw a thumbnail of that one. So pretty wild channel, pretty cool concept for a channel. If you got a scanner and it was a wreck fest. So, but if you like a wreck fest though, I don't know. Like to me, the wreck fest disrupted a whole lot of stuff, but the finish was good. So I'd probably say like 50-50. I'd give it like maybe if you want to lean because of the good finish, maybe 60%, but somewhere 50 to 60%. It wasn't the greatest race I've ever seen by far. We do have a poll question up at some point. I should mention that. Which Ford has the best chance of winning at Talladega? Chase Briscoe, Brad Keselowski, Joey Logano, or Ryan Blaney? Right now, Ryan Blaney at 39%, Jolo 19%, BK 39%, and Chase Briscoe at a 3%. I probably should have picked a different driver there, but I was trying to get somebody on my every aspect. I was debating Michael McDowell or Chase Briscoe there, and I went with Briscoe because he is higher in the points. So that's how I made that determining factor. Although I should have gone if I was sticking with that logic continuously, I should have gone with Chris Buescher instead of Brad Keselowski because he's higher than Keselowski in points. But I don't know. I just picked randomly. I'm still conflicted on what Riffer saying not a Chase fan, Bumblebee saying AO. I'm still conflicted on what to do with Texas, and I'm an Elliott fan, says Joseph Wooten. I think they should put the banking back into it. Don't turn it into another Atlanta, but put the banking back in the turn that they flattened the banking on. I think that'll help. This new car likes banking quite a bit, so I think banking will help it. Watermelon Gang was extra spicy on Twitter this week, says one wise guy. Yeah, so the Ross fans are not happy. There is a faction of the Ross fans who think that it was team orders that Ross Chastain was going to win that race if he wasn't wrecked. So there is that. I got a stern talking to from a few Ross fans in the comments section of the video saying that I should have brought that up. But so I didn't bring that up because I wasn't thinking about that. I wasn't thinking that way. But I would like to point out that there are some Ross fans who think that. So that is fair enough. I should have said that. I don't necessarily agree with that. I want to point that out, but there are some Ross fans who do think that. Chase sucks, not a fan, says T-Van. Yo-Yo T-Van says Yo-Yo T-Van and Bumblebee says Roofer. This race falls into the category of the season has been blah all year, says Mark Barnum. Yeah, aside from that, what was the race that Daniel Suarez won? Oh, man. But other than that finish, the 3-wide finish there, it's sort of been a cut and dry season, more or less, with some exciting finishes, but the races themselves in the middle have somewhat been blah. I can see what you're saying there. Evening, everyone, including Burger, says James. What's up, James? Good to see you on here, my friend. Brad K is right up there to be the next Ford win, says Duke Chronic. For sure. Apparently, Brett Griffin was at Texas Motor Speedway spotting for Austin Hill in the 33 Chevrolet Camaro ZL1. He was doing that. And Austin Hill was having a pretty good run at one point, because I saw he was up to third or second at one point. Then he lost his power steering, or his steering box went bad or something like that. So that prematurely ended his day. Fords are incoming, says Roofer. Wish Ross would have said just a racing deal, whether he believed it or not, says Sonny V. That's the other way you can play it, right? So that's the other good way he could have played it. I agree with you there. But if you don't feel like saying that, just walk away and don't give him any ammunition. I think both of those strategies are equally good. Because you can say Ross Chastain was mad at William Byron and didn't want to talk about it or something like that, but you can't prove it because he didn't say anything. So it's going to be pure speculation as far as that goes. Ross has no reason or grounds to be mad at anyone for getting wrecked. LOL, says Bumblebee. So yeah, if you live by the sword of being an aggressive driver, you are also going to perish by the sword of being an aggressive driver. Expanding the vocabulary, because YouTube doesn't like the D word. Let's see. I'll tell you another thing. On the previous live stream, I am part of enriching French Montana, because on the other live stream when I played the Ric Flair clip, apparently French Montana has a song with that clip in it, and that live stream money, some of it we're in a revenue share with French Montana. So instead of, I'm actually here. Listen, hear me out here. I'm actually not going to challenge that one, because now I have helped enrich French Montana. French Montana, you're welcome. You are a millionaire because of my help, my assistance. You needed to claim that Ric Flair clip, which there was no music played in that, but it still got claimed because he used that clip in one of his songs as well. So I thought that was funny. So you're welcome, French Montana. Appreciate you're more than welcome for the donation there, my friend. I know you're struggling, but I'm helping you get that next million for you, my friend. I prefer sliced bread being the Ford to win if Ford does win, but I have a suspicion Josh Berry or another SHR driver is more likely to win, says Jamie Schweitzer. And that's the great thing about Talladega. Anybody can win, right? As long as you keep your car clean or clean enough to be there at the end, right? Got to have good strategy. I don't think it's all luck. Denny Hamlin's won too many of these things for it to be luck, right? So there is a lot of skill to it, but luck does play a significant factor into it, because you've got to avoid the wrecks and things like that. But yeah, we'll see. What's up, BB? Who will win on Earth 2 this weekend? Oh, that's a good question. I'll tell you what, on Earth 2, I'm going to go with an old favorite. He's back with us this week on Earth 2. The number 15 of Cody Ware, he's going to win that thing on Earth 2. No doubt about it. He's coming back on Earth 2, and he's going to get it. Let's see. He's literally ran over half the NASCAR roster before, says Bumblebee. Lovey Barkley saying, she's talking about Ross there. New Mike says, Lovey Barkley, I miss Texas. Sadly, Martinsville almost broke. Here's what I'll say about Ross there, B. He didn't say anything negative. So as long as you're not a hypocrite about running over the field and you don't say anything negative, you can say nothing at all, or you can say it's just a racing deal. But as long as you don't say anything, as long as he doesn't say anything negative this week about William Byron, I'm okay with the move, because he wasn't a hypocrite and said, I can't believe that guy wrecked me. Like, that's my only thing. If you're an aggressive driver, don't complain when you get driven back aggressively and come out on the wrong end of it. And so I do think he did the right thing by not giving comment if you didn't think you could give an appropriate comment in that moment. I miss Texas. And you could also, let's be fair to the Ross fans, you could also say he didn't give comment because he wanted to see the replay and he hadn't seen the replay yet, so he just walked off to go get on his airplane to go home. I miss Texas. Sadly, Martinsville almost broke my desire to keep watching this season. Word to the bird, BB. What's up, E. Damon? Yeah, Martinsville apparently was very rough on the people watching at home. Watching it live is always much easier because you can look at what you want to. I declined comment. Sorry, Brett Griffin. LOL says in between the lanes. That Texas was a good one, though I couldn't watch to appease. Right, that's the good thing about YouTube now. You do get the replay of it if you miss a good portion of it. The YouTube replay is usually up within a couple days. I think BB is starting to try to color coordinate his shirts with his hats more. Not this one. Not this one. This is red, Carolina blue, navy blue, and orange. I'm just going with a random hat because I've been wearing the same like 3 Kyle Larson hats for forever now. So I'm trying to go with the hat rotation. Actually, if I wanted to match this particular shirt, I've got a. Can I reach it without tearing stuff up? I would have gone with the old Armorall there for Eric Jones. So if I was going to try to color coordinate, I probably would have gone with that move. Let's see. Howdy, one wise guy, says Jamie Schweitzer. Ross probably frustrated because he made a point after Darlington to race Chase clean, but then he gets taken out by another Hendrick driver who has 3 wins already, who didn't have much to gain. Says Dirty Def. I think the frustration is more about he doesn't have a win this season, and he knew that win would lock him into the playoffs. I think that's more or less what the frustration is about. I don't think he's actually mad at Williams. I think it's sort of like the Kyle Busch deal. Kyle Busch finished second, nothing happens, but Kyle Busch is upset about finishing second. That's also a strong theory that's my personal thoughts on it. I don't think he's actually mad at William Byron because I'm pretty sure inside the car, Ross Chastain knows he checked up. Kyle Busch is the defending 2023 spring Talladega winner. So yeah, he might be able to get it done again. Why are people upset with Ricky Spinhouse? I missed that part of the race. Obviously, says one wise guy. He wrecked it he wrecked at an inopportune moment, is what I'm going to say. I think if you're a Brad Keselowski fan, you're probably upset with Ricky Stenhouse because Brad Keselowski fans felt like with the new tires, Brad Keselowski was going to have a much bigger advantage the longer that run went, and he was going to be able to walk down the 2 Hendrick drivers, which he had walked down. So to give him credit there, or the 2 Chevrolet drivers, who was it in front of him? I can't remember, but anyway, the 2 cars in front of him, he was going to walk them down. Howdy Roofer, howdy y'all, says Robin Marks. What's up, Robin Marks? What's up, Canada? Hey, T-Van, says Jamie Schweitzer. Smoke and Scan is good stuff for stringers if you want to watch that kind of stuff, says one wise guy. So there you go, talking about the people that follow stuff around with their scanners. Let's see. BK all day, says Roofer. Denny Hamlin uses Yahoo as his search engine. So that's one thing I actually didn't touch on because I felt like there was enough Denny Hamlin talk last week, so I didn't touch on it in the video. But I will say this. I give Denny Hamlin credit. The dude didn't settle for second place there. He was going after it. I guess that's who was also Keselowski was running down, now that I think about it, long ago. Anyway, I got to give Hamlin respect. He went for the win, and he went for the win without wrecking the leader, and he ended up wrecking himself going for the win there. But I do respect that. He second place. So I do got to give him respect. And he didn't blame Chase Elliott for any of it because he knew he just overdrove the car. He could have took the cheap way out and been like, Chase Elliott got into me or something like that, or he could have made the argument for it, right? But Denny Hamlin was fair game about it. He went for the win. He didn't get the win, but he went for it. So I always like to see any driver go for the win, as long as they don't take out the leader, Chase Briscoe. How much longer do you think we – yeah, I'm still triggered about that. Tyler Reddick should be too. How much longer do you think we will have the next gen, says Fan of Fusion? I think they're going to have it for a long time. I think it'll be here for a while. NASCAR likes it, and regardless of what we think about it, NASCAR likes it. That's all I can say about that one. Long Beach for IndyCar this week. Not sure if IMSA is running as well. I don't know. I'm not familiar. Man, I love IMSA, but I swear after Sebring, I really fall off on my IMSA coverage. I won't lie to you. Let's see. The only way forward, and as far as Indy goes, when is the Indy 500? Because I like Indy cars, but I'm such a front runner. I just watch the big races for them. The only way I need to get better about that. The only way Ford wins Dega is if Chevy or Toyota is pushing across. Depressing to be a Ford fan this year, says E. Damon. They're making strides, man. It's not going to be a winless season. You guys are gonna come in here soon. Atlanta for Suarez says in between lanes. That's what it was. The Atlanta finish. That was a good race start to finish. That Atlanta race was awesome. I really don't want to hate Texas. It's just the racing was so much better previously. Splatter and PJ1 everywhere on top didn't help though. says Napa Race Fan. Yeah, and they took the banking out. Like it's a little bit of this and that on Texas. I missed it. Did Gibbs get a penalty for the socket and the lug? Nope. If he got anything, it was just a monetary deal, but he didn't lose any crew members or anything like that. But Kyle Larson did lose, obviously, 2 crew members for losing the tire there. I'm still sticking with 3 Fords and Hamlin in the final 4, says Rufus. There you go. There you go. Let's see. Ross had a weird tire setup. His rights had laps on them, and his lefts were stickers, says Duke Chronic. That is a weird thing. I don't know why they decided to go that route. Ross Chastain delivers watermelons with Worldwide Express. He does. That Worldwide Express car is good looking. I like that shade of blue. Blaney is the only. It's almost a Orlando Magic shade of blue. Blaney is the only good Ford, says MB. I would say he's not the only good Ford. Do I have it pulled up? I don't have it pulled up. I want to say Brad Keselowski's up in that mix too, and so is Chris Buescher. They're not in the top 10, but they're just outside of the top 10. Off the top of my head, I don't have it pulled up in front of me. BB sings the classics with that mic, for sure. As soon as the live stream is off, it's Elvis karaoke. Everybody, let's see. Parrish is good. Also, Croak says Sonny V. Hey BB, is Austin Hill gonna run an RCR entry at Talladega? I just read him. I don't think he was on that list, but let me double check and make sure. It is going to be Cody Ware, Shane Van Gisbergen, Anthony Alfredo in the Beard Oil 62, and BJ McLeod. Get loud for McLeod in the 78 there. Let's see. Ross gets a lot of crap, but I don't remember a lot of times where he's wrecking people on the last lap with AJ for sure, but Ross hasn't dumped a lot of people on the last lap outside of that. And to be fair, on that particular to him first, AJ gave him the bump and run, and AJ didn't run far enough away. So I'd never actually had he gets all of his NASCAR information from me. Obviously, that's why he tagged the video to get the monetization, so he could collab with me. SHR won't win this year. Fight me, LOL, says MB. It says MB with Ty Dillon's performance this season. Do you think he could be for? You think he could be the Ford to pull it off? He's led a bunch of laps so far. Look, at Talladega, I think Todd Gilliland is underrated, period. So I do think he could be the guy to pull it off. And also, for sure, at Talladega is your best chance for underfunded teams to just underfunded teams to pull it off. I never heard of French Montana, but love me some BB, says T-Van. He is a famous rapper. That is who the French Montana is. Rick Ware Racing has improved this year, says old home guy. BB is the boss, says MB. So Ross, slow down intentionally. So Willie B could wreck him. LOL, says Joseph. Yeah, Ross just got in there too deep and had to lift a little bit, and William Byron had a run, and William Byron didn't have time to cut him slack, or just wasn't going to cut him slack, and that's the way the cookie crumbles. He raced aggressively the way that Ross races aggressively, and I don't have a problem. Like I said, in the video, I thought it was just a racing incident, but obviously, if you're a Ross fan, I have heard too many wrecks, but the finish was good. So I'd give it a 50% to a 60%. You need a French Montana shirt now, says one wise guy. Well, he needs to send me one. He took money from me, so he needs to send me a T-shirt. I'm not going to go buy one. He's already gotten his revenue share, so he needs to give me the T-shirt. Ross got loose, and if he gives me one, I will wear it once a week. Let's see. Ross got loose. Don't bother him, by the way, please, dear God. I'm joking around. I believe Ross, except that we are sharing revenue on that one video. I believe Ross looked loose and lifted slightly, says Brickyard Brickhead. Yeah, I think he lifted too. Who's going to cause the first caution, Ware or Ty Dillon, and take themselves out first? I don't think Ty Dillon is in this one, so that's an easy one. I'll go with Ware. I think the 16 car is going to be handled by SVG. Yeah, 16 car is SVG this week. Jimmy Johnson finally wins a post-retirement cup race, is disqualified for giving Bubba the win, says Jamie Schweitzer. So on Earth 2, he lost the win to Bubba Wallace via technicality. Got DQ'd. Ross is the blocker guy and got loose, says Duke Chronic. Yeah, I thought he lifted too, for sure. Hey, Jamie, says one wise guy. Chase Elliott drinks Coca-Cola while watching the Atlanta Braves at Hooters to win free fried pickles. Actually, it was buy 10 wings and get 10 wings free. That was another thing they had going on this week. There's also somebody that was at the Dawsonville pool room. He had a little footage that he shared as well. So you can see the live reaction from the Dawsonville pool room if you look that up when Chase Elliott won that race. Only reason I watch DVC is to see Casey Boat, says Mark Barnum. So he is a big Casey Boat fan. What's y'all's thoughts of Haley Deegan? I guess the trucks weren't the problem, says Massey Ferguson. I mean, it is what it is. She's chasing her dream. I don't necessarily know that she's in the greatest equipment, so I don't know. I would have to see somebody else driving that. To be fair, the number one truck that she was in originally in the Truck Series, where is that number one truck at in the points? I don't think it's any better in the points than when she was driving it. Now obviously, last year with ThorSport is a legit title contender every single season. So you did want to see more from her there, but she's a young driver. She's still developing. I don't know. Seen advertising, working with drivers that have never, like what I do, I work with a lot of drivers that have never driven before. So it's really hard for me to just take a dump on somebody's dreams when they're chasing them, because we just had a guy jump out of a race car and he did everything he was supposed to do. It was a great first race for him. He made all the laps. He stayed in there. 75 laps for your first race was great. And he jumped out of that car just like over the moon. He was just so emotional. He's like, I finally did it. I wanted to do this for so long. I finally got in a race car and I was able to drive it. So you got to think about me working with drivers from that perspective, young drivers trying to work their way up to the Truck Series. It's really hard for me to take shots at drivers for not running well, because I know how much it means to them. So I don't know. I really try not to do that. That being said, there are some drivers that make it hard. So let's see. Seen advertising for Chicago, but Haley Deegan's not one of them. I think if she keeps putting in the work, she'll eventually break through. I don't know how good she'll be, but I think she will break through and start getting some top tens here eventually if she stays in a good situation long enough. Seen advertising for Chicago, Street, Chicagoland, or Road America, or Better Choices, says Old Home Guy. Harvick said on his podcast he believes Ford's only chance to win this year is on super speedways. Man, that is rough right there. Chase with Hooters is next level, says MB. I'm rocking my BB hat as usual, says Roofer. Rudy Fugel said both guys were to blame, but also Ross had a run at Daytona but avoided Byron and tried to pass below. Could have just drove through him, says Dirty Def. So yeah, like I said, whenever you get wrecked, no matter whose fault it is, you're never happy about it. So him not talking, I think, was the best move as far as that goes. Let's see. I was never trying to street race, but hate dumping Road America for it. There was really good racing. TV wasn't good. It's showing everything on a 4-mile racetrack, says Napa Race Fan. Yeah, it's one of those situations, like a lot of people were hyped up for the street race, but that's one of the track by itself is just iconic. So that's not the one you necessarily wanted to lose there, especially in the Midwest. Roofer, I think I got 3 BB shirts now, but no hat, says T-Van. So I appreciate all y'all's support, man. That is super awesome. It's very humbling, to be totally honest. So I really do appreciate you guys. I'm extremely happy Elliott finally won. Very relieved we're done with Texas for the year. Desperately hope they don't turn into super speedways. Yeah. We don't need all of one type of track. We need a good selection of tracks, and we need to fix the short track package before we think about doing anything else. Getting rid of any short track stuff. How do we get BB merch? Says MB. That is let's see. Do I still have it? Yep. There you go. I just posted the link right there, so that is the link for the merch right there. MB, next gen leaving, Yugo spec cars with manufacturers' engines. That's right. Earth 2 is already on top of that. Yes, IMSA in Long Beach on Saturday on USA. IMSA runs with IndyCar every year at Long Beach. I'm still rooting for Denny for Cup. He's earned at least one championship. says Roofer. Yeah, I don't think Denny Hamlin's talent is ever in question. I think people more or less, some people like his attitude, some people don't like his attitude or his persona, whatever you want to call it. Ross team was upset with him at Darlington because he took himself out and lost all those points, tried to avoid it this time, and still happens. Probably more upset about the situation. Yeah, that's what I'm thinking. It's more situational. I don't see a situation where he's actually like super irritated or super like mad at William Byron. Obviously, he's not going to be happy. He's going to think William Byron had time. Like, you always sitting in that car, you're going to think the other guy had time to do something, unless you're the guy in the car behind. RFK and Logano says Dirty Def, but I don't think he's mad at him by any stretch. RFK and Logano says Dirty Def. Roofer, if Denny needs a cup, I will send him one. so he doesn't have to you go number one in the race car. Roofer says, T-Van, it creates some interesting conversations with the ladies. Says Roofer, I hate IndyCar, Long Beach and Talladega at the same time. Elliott broke his winless streak. Seeing Rossi break at Long Beach would be sweet. Says Napa Race fan. Yeah, it does. I wish they would work together on stuff like that, to be honest with you. Roofer probably drives a Chevy truck like a rock, says Napa. Eric Church has a song titled Talladega. Says In Between the Lanes for sure. And it's time to crank up the old Talladega song this weekend for sure. Is it my imagination, or have there been more one-wheel issues with the center lug nut? I mean, without question, we've lost more wheels with the one lug nut than we ever had with 5 for sure. Cool Team 9 says Oscar 1 for sure. I think a lot of people were stoked about that one. 2004 6.0 350 says T Vance. Roofer does not drive a Chevy. He drives a 350 with the 6.0. I know I mentioned this last stream, but Uncle Wiki more. But orange and black always looks good together. It works for Halloween, right? Stream just locked up. Oops, says E. Damon. Hi, what up, BB? How's your week so far? Says Diesel. So far, can't complain. Getting stuff done. How much pressure should Bowman be under now that Chase won and plus 11 on the cut going into Dega? Nemechek certainly didn't help at Texas. I think Alex Bowman gets a win this season. Like forever, he's just going to be the guy on the hot seat, right? He just doesn't have the same fan base that the other 3 drivers over there at Hendrick have. So he's forever going to be the dude on the hot seat over there for whatever reason. Who starts the big one at Talladega this weekend? Says like dislike. That's a good question. It could be anybody. I have no idea. BB, who are your top 5 Talladega picks? I'll tell you that real quick. I'm going to go Ryan Blaney, Chase Elliott, William Byron, Bubba Wallace, and Eric Jones. Swap out one of those guys for Kyle Busch if you want to. But those are my top 5 or 6. Man, I got something in my eye. Sorry about that. I don't know what got in my eye, but I got something in it right now. I think all of the 1.5 mile tracks should be designed to be the Atlanta design, says Massey Ferguson. You say that now till you get 6 of them in a row, and then it's just, I don't know. I'm telling you, it'll be oversaturation no matter what it is. If Earth 2 is back, I'm taking Jimmy Spencer for the win, says T-Van. Got to be in the race, though. Got to be in the race. Chase Elliott gets a nice discount at the Dawsonville pool room. I'm sure he gets a free 50. The old free 50 discount there. I heard a rumor that he used to work there, by the way. Kenseth might be driving the 84 later this year. That would be awesome. They keep hinting at it, but I don't think anything's official yet. Hooters is Pepsi and Chase is Coke, says Dirty Def. That's for sure, but they don't necessarily conflict because Coke doesn't own an actual piece of the restaurant there. Not sure how many times I can say that without getting in trouble, so I'm gonna skip them. I'm gonna insert a different word from here on out. I can't wait until Le Mans to watch the next gen dominate GTD because it sucks everywhere else, says E. Damon. Ross Chastain to the dark side, says Schreiber. I feel like a lot of people think he's been on the dark side, so I don't know. Young Keelan won the Legends race and got second in his first career street stock race. Yeah, so that's actually pretty impressive to get second in your first street stock race. That's pretty legit. Who won the Texas Motor Speedway last Sunday, says Oscar. I think it was some guy named William Clyde or something like that. I don't know. He might be somebody. Keep an eye on him. If Matt races the 84, Eric will definitely make a video about that. No doubt about it. Harvick was goofing around. He knows that the GTD project, what the GTD project is, says Roofer. Gina, what's up? Good to see you on here, my friend. Rowdy with the top 10 there in a backup car with no laps on it. He had a good run too. Not a lot of people are talking enough about that. They only want to talk about him. RCR and Kyle Busch are struggling, but he just finished top 10 with a backup car, and nobody's talking about that. They're making Dodge come back and Honda. They're making Dodge come back and Honda the NASCAR. Says Oscar. So I don't know if Dodge is coming back, but Honda is certainly interested. Imagining Denny won and Marcus in victory lane dodged a bullet. I don't think so. I think it would be a cool moment for them to. They've already buried the hatchet. I think it would be a cool moment for them to just completely show everybody that it's all good. Gina Rowdy Nation says Roofer. BB, did you hear about the Yankees announcer John Sterling calling it a career? That's bittersweet. He had some crazy Robinson Cano, don't you know, type of like taglines like that. So it's going to be interesting to see who they replace him with. Harvick and Clint's chemistry isn't that great to me. Joke about Clint being hungover is old, says one wise guy. Mike Bagley said he cashed in on the 10 Wings challenge after Chase wins and asked if they had to check because it had been so long. Says Dirty Duff. I'm still trying to figure out what your shirt says now. I love the skull. Give me a skull t-shirt. It says Memento Mori. That means remember that you pass away. If you remember that you pass away, you will remember to live. It's attributed to pirates, but I think it goes back further than that. I guess it doesn't say which pirates, so it could be Greek pirates that originally said it. Harvick is being mean to Clint. That's what it looks like to me, says Duke Chronic. Roofer, Rowdy Nation is in the house, says Gina. Let's see. What's with the Toyotas and Larson having loose wheels? They're messing with the guns. I don't know. I know Martin Truex Jr. has a new crew chief, and just imagine 2311 has 2 cars in the top 10 in points. Imagine how much further up in points they'd be if it wasn't for pit road struggles for 2311 over there. The Kawicki tribute was great, kind of ironic since Elliott paid tribute, though since Elliott lost the title by a few points to Kawicki in 92. Memento Mori is Lamb of God song title. I don't know what it means, says Tom. It means remember that you pass away. Let's see. Top 10 last weekend, says Jenna. Let's see. As usual, BB with the interesting yet logical group, says Lovey. Yeah, I take all the fun out of it and I go by the numbers. Underdog, I'm going with Fast Pasta this week. It'd be a good race to pick him. It'd be a good race to pick him for sure. Do you think Haley Deegan gets a top 10 this week at Dega with the Xfinity race? I think she'll play it safe, and it just depends on how many people wreck in front of her. But I think she'll play it safe like she did in the truck race when she got that good finish. So I think she'll hang out in the back, and then at the end of the race, she'll go. My top 5, so it's just going to be a flip of the coin. Memento Mori is stoicism. Yeah, stoicism is taking on the slogan and logo as well. Good point there, Gina. My top 5 every super speedway race is Brad, Bubba, Joey, Denny, and McDowell. That's not a bad top 5 there. This will finally be Ford's weekend. The Mustang is set up for super speedways. Now they need to dial it in for intermediate tracks a little more, says Bruce. Yeah, Ford, I think, is coming on pretty good. I don't think Jimmy is tarnishing his legacy or embarrassing himself by running part-time in a new car for him. Not like he's running full-time. Wish he stayed in IndyCar for ovals, though, says Napa Racing Fan. Yeah, I don't think once you get 7 titles, I don't think you can diminish your legacy. Like Richard Petty ran forever. I don't think he diminished his legacy by running races well past his prime. BK at Dega, sorry, says Roofer to Jenna. Just because all they talk about is Hendrick Motorsports, even on TV, nobody's talking about Rowdy. I just watched Stapleton and Hornaday interview. He built a car for Keelan, and it's awesome. That's awesome, says T-Van. Clint Boyer loves the phrase fast hot rod, and Mike Joy loves the phrase fast Ford. HMS Sucks says like dislike, rather than putting pressure on Goodyear to make short track racing better, would it be feasible to use Xfinity Series cars? It would not be feasible. NASCAR is not going to let them do that. It is feasible. NASCAR is just not going to let them do it. Do the winners at Texas still get pews with the trophies? I think they took them away. I think they took them away last year, one wise guy, or they're going to take them away this year. I think I remember reading something about that. Like dislike, you're right, says Gina. Bring back 5 lug nuts to NASCAR, says Roofer. Any chance Kentucky Speedway returns, or is it gone forever? I'd say it's slightly better than current Texas, but still not good. I think they just need to add banking. That would be where I start at. Are the air guns handed out by NASCAR? The air guns are issued by NASCAR, and you're not allowed to modify them. During the pace laps, there has to be time when a driver didn't want to speak on the broadcast. I think it happens all the time. I think sometimes they just pretend not to hear them and keep it rolling. Logano drinks Coca-Cola with his Hunt Brothers pizza. Hunt Brothers soft pizza, or pizza soft. Says Jamie Schweitzer. 5 lugs, yes. Says Jenna. Or says Gina, I'm sorry. Chrome Diesel, I just watched 2009 Texas spring race. That's also the race Jeff Gordon snapped the 40-plus winless streak. In between the lanes, Jamie Schweitzer saying facts. I agree on the 5 lugs. Jimmy has looked bad, says Duke Chronic. If you remember what Kevin Harvick said, he said it's going to be the hardest thing Jimmy Johnson ever does. He said because even he couldn't jump in these cars right now, and what Jimmy Johnson is doing and make them look good, he said he would run 35th as well. So judging off what Kevin Harvick said, I'm not surprised that Jimmy Johnson is struggling. Jimmy Johnson says Gina. I say Brad because he's hungry for a win right now. Hey, BB, you think any tires will come off at Talladega during the Cup race, says Jamie Schweitzer? I hope not. I hope not. That would be the worst case scenario. BB, what are your top 5 teams for each of the top 3 series? Probably JRM, RCR, and Joe Gibbs Racing in Xfinity. Thor Sport. Oh man, I don't know. I can't call it in trucks. I think trucks is more dependent on your driver. There are a lot of good teams, but I'd say Thor Sport and trucks, and then the big three in the Cup Series: Hendrick, Penske, and JGR. I want Kez to win for my big brother, says Jenna. Elliott and Gustafson, I definitely think Jimmy for that stage 1 caution. Yeah, so like I said, cautions disrupted a lot of this race. Johnson isn't anything without Cheating Chad, says T-Van. If you're not top 10, you're not obligated to give interviews post-race. Ross was allowed to leave. Never thought Keselowski would be on a 106 race winless streak. That is pretty wild. I can't stand Brad, even though she's pulling for him. Let's see. Did you hear that Natalie Decker's car number 36 withdrew from the Xfinity race this weekend at Talladega? I have not heard that, so that's interesting. Probably some sponsorship or something didn't line up like she thought it was. If NASCAR goes to Mexico, that happens all the time in the lower series. Mexico, do you think KFB would have issues? Ooh, that's a good question, wise guy. That's a good question. I'm tempted to say he would probably have to make a financial contribution to race that race, and they would probably be okay with that. Brad Keselowski eats King's Hawaiian rolls when he gets hungry on Slider Sunday. Says in between the lanes. Yeah, they were having some fun with Brad's Giants talking about sliders and buns. They took a interesting picture on the Twitters. It took off. JJ is just having fun, says Roofer. I agree. 100% T-Van, says Gina. This car keeping drivers guessing might be the reason NASCAR doesn't let them practice. I think that's a lot to do with it. Gina going with Rowdy Nation there. I'd like to see Jimmy Johnson run the 500 again against Larson. It would be nice to see him run one more time. It was an interesting moment in that race where Kyle Larson adored Jimmy Johnson because Jimmy Johnson was extremely slow and wouldn't get out of the way. And Kyle Larson wasn't having it, so he doored him, and I kept getting it. So that was kind of interesting as well. All right, looks like we have reached the end of the chat, so I will catch you guys on Sunday, and hopefully I'll have this set up a little bit better on Sunday, and we'll have some switching going on. Until then, peace, and I will tell you who won the poll before I close it out for once. Ryan Blaney.